What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal or physical conduct of a sexual nature that tends to create a hostile or offensive work environment. This includes but is not limited to verbal and/or physical actions such as unwelcome touching, name-calling, jokes, stalking, assault, blackmailing, forced encounters, pressured conversations, intimidations, insults, inappropriate use of social media, and an overall unwanting of sexual favors or encounters. But thankfully, OSHA is here to help. OSHA is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. OSHA requires an employee health and protection program. Employee health can include providing safety, security, and protection of crisis. Safety is defined as freedom from conditions that cause personal harm. This can mean physical harm caused from tripping and falling, and even verbal harm as well. Security is defined as freedom from fear and anxiety. A crisis is defined as a situation that have potential to have a negative effect on one's health, safety, or security. People need to feel comfortable in the workplace, and especially around the people they are working with. Protection of sexual harassment is included in protection of employee health and well-being. OSHA also requires policies and procedures to be put in place in each business. To start out, our restaurant has 30 servers, 5 hostesses, 10 back of house, 5 managers, 1 HR director. This HR director is responsible for all allegations. All victims or witnesses, if comfortable, can confront the accused party member. However, it is preferred that the employee comes straight to the HR director. If so, and the complaint is filed, certain steps will be taken place. Immediate documentation of facts, people involved, dates and times, etc. will be included. In this case, Bob is sad to have assaulted Jill at 6:30 on 4/11/18. A clear, detailed description of encounters, witnesses, and what form of action the victim would like to partake in will also be included. In this example, Bob is verbally abusing Jill. There are witnesses seeing, and they should also report to HR. Investigation with confidential interviewing will then begin. The accused party will take a leave of absence. The victim is subjected to take a leave of absence if wanted, and counseling will also be provided. Continued training sessions and policy procedures will be implemented for all employees. Once the investigation is over, the party member will be terminated from employment if proven guilty. Now on to our training. 43% of women and 12% of men report sexual harassment. While most are women, it's very important to address the topic with all employees. First, let's go over what is seen the most. Verbal harassment, which is language that is directed at another person that causes that person harm, typically in an emotional or psychological sense. Causing a person names, making him or her feel useless, or otherwise diminishing a person's self-worth are examples of verbal harassment. Physical harassment, which refers to methods of coercion, threats, or bullying that involve physical gestures or threats. And lastly, visual harassment, which is all types of harassment but are visually severe and persuasive to others that affect working conditions and create a hostile working environment. Sexual harassment also falls into two main categories: quid pro quo and hostile environment. Quid pro quo means this for that. It may occur if an employee is offered money or some other form of bribery in exchange for favors. Hostile environment includes being witness to or part of a direct sexual harassment. Next, we'll go over a few ways to prevent sexual harassment. The simplest way to protect yourself is to keep your private life private. Tell others it is none of their business when they ask to know too much information. Another way is to learn to filter your language and actions using the grammar filter. Although it sounds funny, the logic is to think about how your grammar would react to what you would say to a coworker. Imagine how the situation would play out if you said this to your grandma. If the response is going to be bad, then don't say it, send it, or do it. If you see it, report it. When you see harassment, you may anonymously report it to HR. There it will be filed. And then HR will address it from there. Now it's quiz time. If you think the answer is false, keep your hand down. If you think the answer is true, Raise your hand until the answer shows. Question 1. Only one complaint to HR requires an investigation. True or false? The answer is true. All complaints must be taken seriously and looked into to ensure the safety of our employees. Question 2. Sexual harassment cannot occur outside the work site, but can still be considered work-related. True or false? Once again, the answer is true. If harassment occurs as work functions such as fundraisers, parties, etc., it's the company's responsibility to address it. And for the final question, if person A did not like the sexual attention, but person B only meant it as joking or flirting, then it was not sexual harassment. True or false? The answer is false. Any unwanted sexual attention, even joking, may be reported immediately. In conclusion, sexual harassment should be taken seriously and should always be reported to HR. We hope you enjoyed our training video, and thank you for watching.